Welcome to Weather and Ag and
Focus. And
thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
I thought you wanted me to open.
Tuesday afternoon.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday morning.
You're like an echo.
We have a little reverb in the studio today.
A little bit.
Should we try this again in harmony?
Okay, ready?
Bridgette?
No.
All right. Well, I guess our little barber tri-pet isn't going to work out then, is it now?
Nice try.
All right. Well, looks like we can't quit our day
Keep
jobs
you down.
yet.
I was just going to say that.
What we got on the show today? We got fun stuff coming on. We're going to be talking a little bit about beef today with our guest.
I got stuff. Yes. So our guest today will be Chef Ashley Breneman. She's with the Certified Angus Beef Association. So every time you go to a butcher shop, a restaurant, and on the menu it says Certified Angus Beef, this is actually the organization that promotes that. And they do a marvelous job of promotion. And that's just one aspect.
So what's the difference between certified Angus beef and just
Beef. Angus is a breed.
I understand. Yeah, I know
That's
that.
really so.
Come on, Dean. Really? You didn't understand?
But the honest truth is that I tell this story a lot. I was actually in a restaurant. I think we were in Indianapolis, Indiana, and the waiter was making such a big deal about the beef. Oh, it's certified Angus beef. And
Certified.
so I might have played with this a little bit. And I said, so
As I would have fully expected you to do, too.
I said, so what's important about Angus? Oh, it's the cut. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually the breed. Dude had no idea.
You know what that waiter was pulling?
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I
Right.
just hope I find it along the way.
That was it. I'm like, no, that's not it. It's no different than if it was a Hereford beef, Charlet, Simmental, Limousine, any of that.
So is where was I going with this?
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along
So
the way.
no,
So Wagyu, does that come?
Wagyu?
Wagyu.
Not Ragu.
It's Wagyu.
Yeah.
Wagyu
Does
is
that come from the Angus?
No, Wagyu's a whole different breed.
Okay.
That's a specialized breed out of Japan. They're bred for super tender meat. I mean, like they have beer in the diet of that animal.
Like you touch the animal and they melt.
They're not made of sugar.
There's another one too, isn't it? It's you got Wagyu, and then there's is it Kobe?
Kobe?
There's another one that's like that. There's like the top tenderness of me. It's
We have to look at that because
701-293-9000 Red Wing Shoes line.
Right, for folks who might know right off the top of their heads. Because Kobe beef, I thought that had to do with a region where it's from, but we have to do a little bit of work on that.
I do a little bit of digging.
Yeah.
I know there's another one. They just had, maybe it was Wagyu that they got up at the Harry's Steakhouse in Grand Forks not too long ago. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. I thought there was two though.
We're going to sort that out though. And the beauty is with Certified Angus beef, they're promoting beef as an industry overall, and they are doing a wonderful job of it because that's a name that you as shoppers and consumers know right off the top of your head, where you may not know all the other breed names. So congratulations to them for doing an outstanding job. But all right, hands in the air. If at any point in time you had ever thought as a kid, I want to be a vet. Anybody? Want to be a vet?
We got
I
our
love
producer
animals,
in
but
there,
no.
audio producer in there, and production producer. He said he wanted to be a vet.
Okay, so
I can't say it's ever crossed my mind though.
well, for some it has. A lot of little kids out there, not little Dean. He was too busy with his Tonka trucks.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it was.
And we've talked about this before. There is a shortage, particularly of large animal vets, those who are willing to work on cows, sheep, horses, etc., and also those who are willing to make house calls. When we talk with our friend Dr. Emily Fox from the Ashley Vet Clinic, who I met on Saturday, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
You saw her?
I got to meet her in person.
Cool.
When she gets a call, she said her area or her radius around her clinic is about 80 miles, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and we need more vets in the neighborhood, you might say. So with vet school, once you finish your 4-year degree, you have another 4 years of school. It's no different than being a
That's probably
doctor.
why I didn't go into it.
Yeah.
That's 8 years of school.
You ain't got the attention span for that.
What?
Huh?
That's it.
You see that sky carp over there laying on its eggs?
Oh, you know what I heard that called? Okay, so let me back up. For people who can't see out our windows, there's a Canadian goose out there sitting on her nest.
Sky carp.
Sky carp. But I heard it this weekend called the murder chicken, and I can't wait to use that more often. Yes. Because if you go out
Murder
there,
chicken.
that that bird's coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Yes.
so here we go. So in the past, we've had murder hornets, and the big month calendar, and it's got all the top things. Like January was that meme of that cop in Japan, and then what was February, and then it was murder hornets, and something I got next month is going to be murder chickens.
Murder chickens. That's it.
I'm gonna throw $20 on it.
Those are the Canadian geese that are outside. Okay, back to about growing up to be a vet, though. So you're going to do all of your work, your textbook work. You also have to do your work in lab, and then you do what they call externships, where you go out to work at clinics. Additionally, if you wanted to be like a veterinary nurse, they used to be called vet techs. Just like being a nurse in a doctor's office, you're going to assist with surgery, handing out meds, putting in IVs, etc. And then lastly could be a veterinary assistant, which is kind of like your certified nursing assistants. Those folks that get trained more on the job, but are still very critical at the actual vet clinics when folks need them. So
I see.
If you want to grow up to be a veterinarian, there's all sorts of ways to do it.
Cool. We're going to head over to the phone lines. Red Wing Shoes phone lines are open. We got about 3 open lines right now. If you want to jump in on the conversation, 701-293-9000. We're going to Tim right now. Tim, welcome to Weather and Egg in Focus. How's your day going, and what do you want to talk about?
I'm doing well, thank you. You seem well versed on the cuts of beef. You should probably know that there's no such thing as a Canadian goose. It's a Canada goose.
You're right. But it sounded rude to call it just a Canada goose. So I guess I was trying to be polite to it.
Okay.
Can I also
throw that out there?
Thank you, Tim. Am I going to call it like their Canada Air or their Canadian Air? Which one should I label their
Canada.
Smoke? Air Canada.
Air Canada.
There you go.
I like that you threw that back, Tim. That's awesome.
Hey, Tim, thanks for listening. Appreciate the phone call.
Murder chicken.
Murder chickens. I think that's my favorite one.
You wait till I introduce you next time. You're no longer meteorologist. I got new names.
I can only imagine where that's going.
I can't wait. Dean, I think you had something you wanted to talk about. No, everyone listen up real closely about the wildfire smoke.
Yeah. So now, all right, our chemtrail spray day is Tuesday.
Oh, so it's one of these stories.
Yeah. So from what I understand, they do it up in Canada quite often. And I heard there was a mishap somewhere in Alberta when they were doing the spraying. And this is one of the things that may have started the fires. I don't know. I was just reading an article out of Canada Times. Said something about that. So I don't know. If anybody else heard anything about that. Not sure if that was the reason for the fires. It can't be anything to do with that they've had record heat up there.
Well,
and just perfect conditions
and dry,
for fires.
and dry weather.
Dry weather. I did see a tweet a couple days ago that said after 10 years of paying out carbon credit to farmers to store carbon, they managed to destroy that in 2 days of wildfires because of all the carbon release.
No doubt.
And Mother Nature, she's going to manage this the way she wants, right? If there's that much dry material for a fire.
Mother Nature comes in, what you kids doing with my carbon?
Here we have it.
Put that carbon back where you found it.
Hey, speaking of Mother Nature, I just got a text message from Farmer Jim, who's our custom farmer, and he said they had 4/10 of rain last night.
Wow. Oh, no, not nice.
Well, not necessarily
No,
nice.
not nice, because we're not planted.
Right, we're not planted yet, although it won't take long when it's ready, but we're not planted yet.
Man.
And no, that's a fair amount of rainfall.
Yeah.
Well, the field was already wet. We couldn't plant last week, and then
There's a nice dry stretch of weather coming for them,
Yes.
though, so that's good.
Just like the optimism for every other farmer, Dean.
There's dry weather coming.
Those
You'll
fields,
be good.
the fields you didn't get to are coming along.
Bridgette, are we in the majority or the minority of fields being planted right now? Are most people in the ground, or are we kind of in the same spot as most people where you're just waiting?
It's field by field. Right.
by
If
field.
we've got folks that were north of Glendon that were planting sugar beets earlier this week. You got a lot of activity over there. If you're Highway 2 and north, you've been getting quite a bit done. It's just field by field. Unfortunately, those folks south of I-94, I went through there on Friday and back again on Sunday. She's wet all the way to like 281 south of Jamestown. She's pretty wet. So they're gonna
Not good.
not going to good. They're going to get in as much crap as they can, no doubt.
Well, hey, coming up on the show, again, if you want to get all queued up and lined up in here in our phone queue, 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone number. Of course, you can always reach us via email at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. We're also live streaming on Facebook, YouTube Live, and as well as Acres TV. Our guest that's going to be joining us, that's Chef Ashley, it's Breneman, right?
I do believe so.
I believe that's how it's pronounced, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, Ashley. We're going to be talking about all the certified beef out there in Angus and kind of find out exactly what it means and so much more. And if you got questions or you got one that comes up mid-conversation, feel free to give us a call and we'll get those questions answered. Stay tuned. All of that and more on the way.
Luther Family Buick GMC has the inventory you've been waiting for. Don't just settle for what's left over. Take your pick of our huge selection. The shelves are stocked and the lot is full with rates as low as 0.9% on a new GMC Sierra 1500 or 2.49% financing on select Buick models for qualified buyers. Bring your title and your trade and come in today while the selection is strong. Luther Family Buick GMC, corner of I-29 and 32nd Avenue South, Fargo. We are professional grade.
Planning one's own funeral or that of a loved one can be overwhelming and costly, not to mention extremely emotional. Hi, I'm Craig, owner of West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center. At West Funeral Home, our staff will educate and prepare you for this journey and work with you to create a meaningful and healing experience, serving the Valley for 4 generations and over 100 years.
West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center, little things make the difference.
Now is the perfect time to upgrade your kitchen with new appliances from Regal's. Get up to $2,000 back on select GE Profile appliances now through June 1st, featuring the latest smart home technology, providing a simpler and smarter cooking and cleaning experience. Smart technology meets unbeatable prices, plus free delivery and free recycling of your old appliances. Find out why for over 75 years Regal's has delivered value. Regal's, 609 Main Avenue, Moorhead.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Everyone at Dakota Rural Water District would like to say to all graduates, you are an achiever. Your hard work finally paid off. You have made us all proud. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2023. Wishing you the best of luck as you journey into the future. Soak in this moment. It's well deserved. Have a fun and happy graduation from your friends at Dakota Rural Water District in Findlay. Online at dakotaruralwater.com.
Hi, I'm news correspondent Bob Woodruff. In 2006, a roadside bomb struck the armored vehicle I was riding in while reporting from Iraq. I sustained a life-threatening traumatic brain injury. The military term, "got your six," means I have your back. And that day, our service members had mine. During my recovery, I learned firsthand the challenges facing our service members who return home with injuries. While serving, their fellow service members always had their six. Now that they're home, it is our turn. We started the Bob Woodruff Foundation to make sure that the camaraderie and support they relied on in the military carries on, and we need you. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative and help us be there for impacted veteran service members and their families. They've had our backs. It's time we have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org. That's gotyoursix.org, using the number 6.
Hey, it's Jay Thomas for your local liquor store, Bottle Barn Liquors, with 3 locations in Fargo, West Fargo, and downtown just west of Broadway Square. They're one stop away from anywhere. Perfect for adventure, hosting, and grabbing gifts for. They're just right for every occasion. They have selections of the latest wines, spirits, liquor, craft beer, and premium cigars. Bottle Barn, your one-stop shop. So tell them Jay sent you. Locations on South University Drive, Veterans Boulevard, and now open in downtown Fargo.
And welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus, even though it's really smoky out there and maybe not as focused as we want it to be. That sounds fair. Mm-hmm. This is Bridgette Readel. I am the Ag Director, along with Chief Meteorologist in charge of finding out when the smoke leaves. That'd be Dean Wysocki, and his dandy assistant, Justin Storm, who's still giggling over the fact that a murdered chicken is on a nest out in the yard. I know you like that term.
I love that term so much.
T-shirt material right there. All right.
I'm going to make one now.
Thank you to Irie Insurance for keeping all of our insurance needs met, especially on our Here We Grow project. We appreciate everything that they do for us, and to keep all of our customers who are listening safe in their needs, whether it's camping in an RV, boat rides, farm equipment, crop insurance. And with the rainfall we keep getting, continue to talk to your agents about your crop insurance needs, whether you need hail or more, and you can find them at IrieInsurance.com. Guest today, I'm very excited to introduce Ashley Breneman. She is with Certified Angus Beef. And Ashley, some of our favorite things here are beef and booze, so you are going to be a highlight for us today. Are you ready for that?
I am honored. I'm happy to be here. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Great. Absolutely.
So, what does a chef do for an association like Certified Angus Beef?
Great question. A large variety of things. I specifically focus on our consumer engagement. So I get to make friends all over the place talking about our amazing brand and inspiring people on how to best utilize our beef, and maybe even challenge them a little bit with trying new recipes they wouldn't have thought of.
That's going to be our favorite part.
And Ashley, where are you located at? Where are you a chef at?
So I am based at our main office in Worcester, Ohio. So I live in Worcester, Ohio, actually born and raised here. I've been with the brand for 10 years, and the brand it was born about 10 miles down the road in the 70s. So it's a very special campus to work on.
Nice.
Can you give us a little history about that, about how Certified Angus Beef came to be this organization? Because it's such a recognizable name for shoppers. And you've done a great job of that promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it all started with Mick Colvin, who is the founder of the brand. And he had a couple of bad experiences with some steaks that he had ordered at some restaurants. And he decided to kind of figure out a way that we could more streamline the quality of the steak that you're going to be ordering. So he came up with very important doctors and farmers and ranchers in the room about kind of what would marble best, what breed of cattle, is going to perform the best as far as taking on that marbling, which is the most important really the most important piece of what makes a great steak taste good. So it was all about that and streamlining a great eating experience every single time you were to cut into a steak. And then our 10 specifications were born, and the brand is thriving.
And it really is, because that's one of those names that just stands out to people. I mean, when you go to the store, you see it. You're familiar with it, right?
All the time.
Absolutely. So
love hearing that. Yes, our logo is very recognizable. We love that.
I saw it behind you on the live screen. She's got a nice big logo just right behind her shoulder, so you can see that on display if you're unfamiliar with what it might look like. So let's talk about, as a chef, and some of the things that you like to work with the most. Do you do like a total breakdown of the animal when you do demonstrations for some of the consumers, or are you more on the here's the cooking end of it and what we're doing with our finished product?
I think that it's safe to say that we focus on what you're going to see most frequently in your retail case at a grocery store. So I'm trying to inspire somebody to not just put the crock pot roast on the counter. I'm trying to help you feel inspired to do something different with that cut of beef that maybe you're not familiar with. Maybe you never buy a skirt steak because you're not sure what to do with it. Maybe you want to change up the roasts that you buy at the store because they're always on sale. Whatever that may be, I'm here to inspire you to try something new and give you the confidence that you need to really just experience beef in all sorts of ways.
So Ashley, what are the different types of the cut, or what's the different cuts that you get out of a cow, and what's your favorite one to work with, or maybe, as you were saying, challenge people to get creative with? Which one is your favorite, and then what are those different kinds of cuts that you do a lot of work with?
Yeah, so we do a lot of work with very traditional steaks that you see at a steakhouse, right? Like your traditional New York City strip, your ribeye, a sirloin steak. And one of my favorites to talk about and to prepare is a ribeye steak. But I love to talk about challenging people to make that into two different eating experiences. Meaning, whether you're buying a whole rib, maybe you're buying a whole boneless rib roast, maybe you're buying just 3 ribeye steaks. That cap muscle, which is called the spinalis, you can take that off and grill that separately and make that your appetizer portion for your dinner party, or save those ribeye fillets as the main portion of your dinner party. And you just had, 2 different eating experiences with one steak that people don't normally think can be made into 2 different recipes.
Sure.
So that's one of the kind of underutilized ways that you could use a very recognizable and well-loved steak like that. And I love kind of teaching that portion to people who are big ribeye fans.
That is super cool. And how do you go about doing this? When you're showing somebody or telling somebody, inspiring them to try something new, take what you've been doing a little bit different, and you get a whole new experience. What kind of platforms, or how are you going about to get that engagement with people?
That's a great question. It's really about flavor introduction, meaning the beef is going to do its job every time. Our marbling is incredible. The flavor is always going to be there, but it's the way that we're adding spice, we're adding flavor, we're adding a different cooking technique. Maybe you only ever grill beef. I could teach you how to reverse sear beef. That's a very different cooking technique that you could give it a shot at your own house. And it's honestly just fun to try new flavor profiles with cuts of beef you're very you're very familiar with. So I think that that's a really big portion of our recipe development that we do here in the office. It all starts with great quality beef, and every single bite will be perfect no matter what kind of flavor profile you're throwing at it.
And Ashley, I purchased an air fryer, I don't know, 6 months ago. And since then, I have not touched my grill.
Really?
You throw your steaks in the air fryer?
I cook my steaks in the air fryer, and they come out perfect.
This sounds like the people that put steaks in toaster ovens.
Stop talking like that.
Well,
who does? Okay,
I've never heard it.
I've seen someone cook a steak in a toaster oven.
Really?
And it came out medium rare.
Really?
Okay, well, a toaster oven is a small oven. I will give them that. So maybe there was some success there, but
an air fryer?
The air fryer. The air fryer, we actually have a number of air fryer recipes on our website.
Look at that.
And
There you
would be
go.
shocked. And honestly, I am a mom of 3 kids under 5 years old, and I use an air fryer all the time. And there are some really cool, innovative recipes that we've created for air fryer usage.
All right, so I think we need to hit 1 or 2 of those when we come back.
We
do.
They're on our website.
We'll definitely go over that, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about where your videos and your platforms are located at. And again, if you have a question, you want to get something answered, or hey, what's the difference between this and that? Is it worth spending a little extra money for it? 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. Again, that's 701-293-9000. You call right now during the break. We'll get you all queued up, and we'll go straight to the phone lines when we come back.
If you're planning a big event for this summer, maybe it's a work function or you have a family gathering too big to host at your house, let O'Kelly's be the spot. Whether it's a grad party, groom's dinner, wedding reception, O'Kelly's has the space to make it great. And they will cater the whole thing with delicious food, a great outdoor setting by the pool, or indoors where everything is taken care of. They are attached to the Biltmore Inn, so out-of-towners even have a place to stay. Don't worry about anything. Talk to Tori at O'Kelly's, I-29 in Maine, in Fargo.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids, and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We're talking with Adam at Cheyenne Gardens. With late planting for many gardens, that can kind of change the flowers that some people want to plant. Adam, how do you handle that when it gets a little later this year?
Well, I handle it a couple different ways. I watch the weather every night. I always worry about the night lows. I want to have temperatures above 32, want to be above freezing. So when we get 10 good days of above 32 at night, I'll start putting out my pansies, my snapdragons, my petunias, those things that like it cool, that will take a nice cool night. Then when the frost is clear, then I put my zinnias and my geraniums and my warm crop spikes, those things that like to be a little warmer outside at night.
Is this a good reason to plant more in stages as opposed to trying to plant everything at one time?
Yep, I like to plant in stage. Sometimes when we're planting, we get overwhelmed. There's just too much work ahead of us. So we do it in stages. We take a little bit, take care of one container, then we can handle one container, and then we can go to the next container and that. And you can buy a little bit at a time and fill what you need and not get overwhelmed.
Also kinds of helps you figure out where you got gaps in your garden.
Correct. Because things grow at different stages. You might say, oh, I got a hole over here. I need something to fill in. And that's why we plant in stages. It's a good way to do it.
Cheyenne Gardens, a great place to wander, admire, and explore for the largest variety of trees, shrubs, and bedding plants in the area. Just 10 minutes north of Fargo, up I-29 in Harwood. Put Cheyenne Gardens on top of your list as the best place to visit for your gardening and landscaping this year.
Would you enjoy having 3 hot meals a day, someone did your dishes, laundry, and helped manage your health concerns? For over 125 years, the Veterans Home has been providing quality care for veterans and their spouses. You were there for us. Now let us be there for you. Call us at 701-683-6500 or visit ndvh.nd.gov.
This ad is sponsored by the North Dakota Cares Coalition and aired in cooperation with the North Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel Ag Director, along with Justin Storm. That's right. We got to get that smoke out of here from Canada.
Hey, man, what are you trying to say?
Meteorologist number 1. You're number 2. Number 1 is Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki.
Depends which day.
Yeah.
That's actually quite true. So for those of you who are thinking, what could I do on this day where I got a little bit too much rain? You could go to steffisgroup.com. They are one of our sponsors for the Here We Grow project. And you could start scrolling that for your equipment, ideas, and deals. Maybe you wanted to trade a tractor, look for a truck for harvest. Here's your day to do it. Look them up.
I got a little one. I'm trying to trade up to a big one.
The Tonka truck will not work.
No bites.
Not yet. No. We can't actually trade toys on there. Although, if they wanted to do a farm toy auction, I bet they'd get some attention. Speaking of attention, that would be to our guest today, and that is Ashley Breneman. She is with Certified Angus Beef out of Ohio. She is a chef, and we are asking all sorts of questions about beef. And, well, I've got a whole stack of them here. One of them is, what's the challenge of getting home cooks to improve their skill set? What is that first hurdle to get people over using beef at home? And then let's kind of segue into the whole synthetic meat situation and what we can expect from the folks at Certified Angus Beef. What might your response be to that? So 2 parts for you, Ashley.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. Hello, my friends. So let's talk about how I'm trying to help inspire the home cook to do different recipes using beef, and we do that in a way of adding in flavor profiles. So to me, it's cooking techniques. Maybe you're not just grilling the cuts of beef you're always grabbing at the grocery store. Maybe we try a reverse sear on that. Maybe we try something on a smoker. Maybe you learn how to perfect that perfect cast iron seared steak. Whatever it is, we have done it here in the test kitchen at Certified Angus Beef, and we're trying to inspire different spices, different peppers, different vegetables braised with certain beefs. And I think it's really important to say that beef can take you all over the world, especially if you're following any of the recipes we've been putting out lately. We've really pushed a lot of different flavor profiles out there.
That's awesome. And one of those flavor profiles might not include like a synthetic beef, correct?
Yeah, synthetic beef, meaning like an alternative to beef.
Sure.
Yes. So we're focused on connecting people with the best beef at the brand. And so honestly, I don't read much about where the synthetic beef world is taking off at. So I'm definitely not the expert to talk about that with you.
That is totally okay. We are big fans of real beef. I know that at some point in time, if this Here We Grow project goes well, we all think we should have some cows. I'd like to put them out here on the lawn by the murder chicken in the backyard, see how they all get along.
What if they start getting along and we get murder chicken riding a cow?
Hey, as long as the cow's okay with it, I'm not stopping them.
Sure, why not?
Fair enough. All right.
Canada, let's go.
So Ashley, my favorite cut of beef, usually it's, it ranged anything from top sirloin meatball, top sirloin to ribeye, and then this was a few months back. Bridgette here, she said, "Have you ever had the top? Was it the top cap?"
Yes.
So went to the store and actually found top cap, which you must have to ask the butcher for it because So that had to be the most tender cut of beef I've ever had.
Nice.
You're talking about the culotte?
Yes, that would be the other term.
Yeah. So did you buy them in steak form or did you buy it whole?
Steak form.
Yeah, they're incredible. That's the cut of beef that you'll see at like a Brazilian steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
That is normally going to be on like a sword, like roasting slowly over a fire. That's a delicious cut of beef, and it's because of that fat cap, which is in the name, the cap. All of that fat kind of renders down and keeps that beef super moist as it roasts. That's a delicious cut.
So what can you tell me about, we always hear these terms on fancy beef, and it always comes with a spendy price tag. But like Wagyu, what makes that so special, or are there other things that are similar to it at all?
So again, my expertise is definitely not in the Wagyu breed. So Wagyu I know is Japanese breed, and I know that there's different tiers of that, but that's focused on, a whole different set of standards.
Okay.
And so with our brand though, with Certified Angus Beef, we do talk about the price and how that's really it's our promise to everybody out there that our brand promises the best bite of steak every time. And I have absolutely taught that forever, and it's very true.
When you said flavors from around the world happen, Ashley, is Certified Angus Beef only promoted in the U.S., or is it in North America, or do you have a further reach than that using that particular brand?
Yeah, our brand is recognized in over like 45 countries. It is incredible.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ashley, is there a big difference? A lot of times when you go to the grocery store, you'll see grass-fed beef. Is there a big difference between like just grass-fed beef and any other kind of beef?
Like a grain-finished beef?
Like a grain, yeah.
I love how you said that, Bridgette. So all cattle is grass-fed, right? And our brand focuses on all options for the consumer who loves to eat beef. So we actually are coming out with a grass-fed line as well of Certified Angus Beef. It's for the consumer who wants to have that choice. And so there is a need for it, I would say, a demand for it, and we're proud to give that.
Is it healthier?
No, it doesn't have any health difference as far as if you're eating a traditional certified Angus beef strip steak or a grass finished strip steak from certified Angus beef. No, there's no health difference.
Speaking along those lines, and I don't know if you'd have all the answers on this because it kind of goes a little bit more into nutrition, but what are the health benefits from red meat and beef, Angus?
Yeah, beautiful. So we always just say ZIP, so zinc, iron, protein.
Oh, I like that.
And
I do.
yes, we just talk about promoting ZIP in your diet. So that is a powerhouse of health right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, there you go. And let's work back to where we were before we went to the bottom of the hour break. And for those that missed it, we were kind of going over different ways we cook steak. We had mentioned the toaster. I've seen that one done. Grilling, reverse searing, cast iron. I've seen people cook steak in dishwashers just to see if it was possible. If the water's hot enough, yes, it is possible to do that.
No, that was salmon, not steak.
It is. You can do it with both, actually. What? You get hot water.
Okay.
Dean cooks his steaks in the air fryer, and I thought he was crazy. Apparently, he's not as crazy as he seems.
Well.
You got some air fryer recipes or anything you want to share about the air fryer? Because that thing has just been taken off over the last 5 years.
Yeah. So the air fryer is a really fun tool that I've gotten to know over the past couple of years in my personal life, also recipe developing for the brand. And I've never cooked a whole steak in an air fryer. I'm super traditional when it comes to a good grill mark or a good sear. But we have incredible recipes on our website that are including ground beef, and like maybe even a stir fry type of cut that we've done in air fryers. We've done cube steak in air fryers, where instead of deep frying a cube steak, like for a chicken fried steak, we've done it in an air fryer. It's incredible, the crisp that you can get from an air fryer. So we're fans, and yeah, see, look, there's so many different options, and I have made all of those multiple times.
Cool.
So I can attest to those being amazing.
Now, when someone says, I'm scared to start because I'm a terrible cook, I don't know what I should be doing, is there like a starter level with beef that people should be using, like the starter cut or the starter recipe, and maybe it's like grandma's tater tot hot dish, or should we take it a step up from that, Ashley?
Start with flank and work your way up to the fillet.
Flank is actually very tender.
It
is. Don't
it really
knock
is.
the flank until you've really gotten to know that cut. But no, I think it's really about teaching the basics first. I always kind of start conversations about cooking beef as start with back to basics. Let's work on perfect seasoning amounts. Let's work on learning how to do grill marks on a grill. Let's work on using a cast iron pan properly. And I prefer a seared steak in a cast iron pan and on my stove. That is something that you can practice all year long at any time. And then once you get more comfortable with how you like your beef prepared, as far as doneness goes, start adding in the different techniques of cooking beef. Start adding in the different recipes with the different flavors and spices you maybe don't pull for all the time. That's how I like to inspire people to continue their growth in what they're cooking at home when it comes to beef.
So Ashley, when you said, don't be afraid because you want to get a good grill mark on your steak, that type of thing. I'm going to call out my friend who listens often. I'm just going to call her Rutabaga. She is afraid of a grill. She will literally put her George Foreman grill on her patio deck to use it because she's afraid she's going to burn her house down.
Well, don't put it on the deck then. Put it out in the yard.
So, Ashley, I think for her, I'm just going to send her your links for better cooking methods because I think you can help.
So
yes, I think it's worth mentioning that you don't always have to grill your beef. You could totally do it inside with cast iron. So just tell her that.
Okay,
so
that's a good point.
In your videos, in your inspiration and challenging those to cook more, cook better, try something new, get out of the comfort zone. Do you go over what some of these cooking techniques are and some of those basics, or are you focusing more on just the recipe at hand? This is what you got to do to get it all done.
No, we are focused on very specific teachings and inspiring that at-home cook to really believe they can do it. So we have a whole video on a reverse sear technique We also have a whole video on a full recipe that's a reverse sear technique. So meaning the ingredients are in the full recipe. There's a YouTube video on just the basics and how to do it. So you can start anywhere you want to with our Certified Angus Beef YouTube channel, with all of our recipes on our website. I think we've done a really great job of speaking to every level of home cook.
Right. And there's a lot of different platforms out there. And I heard that you do videos personally and you share them. What's the website for Angus? And then where are some of those videos found? I'm sure some of them are on the website, but is there a YouTube channel, a page, a TikTok, Facebook? Where can people who use all these different platforms come together to follow you and what you're doing?
Beautiful. Yes, that is the answer to all of those is yes. So the website is certifiedangusbeef.com. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are on Facebook. And all of those are extremely geared toward just making friends and being very consumer level, with inspiring you to try lots of different cooking techniques and new recipes with our brand of beef.
That's awesome. And those, the TikTok, YouTube, all those, that's all the same, Certified Angus Beef?
Yes. Certified Angus Beef, yes.
Awesome. I'm going to have to go check some of those out because
I know where I'm going after the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to the butcher. I'm going to the butcher.
You going to go get that, what do they call
Top cap?
it? No, what do they call it, Bridgette? It's the date for one pack.
So, no, Ashley, I told the guys this on the break that I was at a grocery store in South Dakota here within the last couple of years, and it was called the Adult Lunchable, and it was a steak, a potato, and 2 cans of beer all wrapped together, and you could just pick the whole thing up and take it. And yes, the Adult Lunchable. So for those of you not knowing what you're going to cook tonight, go get that. That's ideal.
That's extremely smart marketing.
Isn't it though?
Great.
Yes. Feel free to steal that. So, all right.
Yes, when you're shopping local, just look for our brand logo and just remember that if it's not certified, it's not the best. So you have to pick it up.
Oh, one last email question for you, Ashley, if you could real quick. If you were to compare air frying, sous vide, or air fryer, or not air fryer, probably I think they mean grilling in this one. Is there one method that you prefer over the other, or is it the comfortability of the person who's doing the cooking?
Oh, completely up to your confidence level in the kitchen.
Okay.
You can have success with all of those cooking techniques, and you can do any of those cooking techniques with any cut of beef.
Awesome.
So it's all up to you.
So glad you joined us. This is Chef Ashley Breneman. She is with Certified Angus Beef out of Ohio, and we are going to catch up with the American Egg Network. We will be right back to wrap up the show. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
It's me, Janae from the Coffee Club, and I am super excited to tell you that HotWorks Fitness Center is opening soon on Highway 10 East in Moorhead. Unique infrared workout sessions, including yoga, Pilates, and cycles, great for weight loss, improved circulation, detoxification, and so much more. If you become a HotWorks VIP member right now, it's only $10 to enroll and $44 a month, saving you $15 a month. So become a founding member. Find HotWorks Moorhead on Facebook.
Foston Tri-Co-op is hiring an agronomy manager. Must have sales and agronomy experience, able to sell crop protection, fertilizer, and chemicals. College degree in agronomy or equal experience is preferred. Enjoy competitive salary and benefits including health, long-term disability, dental, life insurance, HAS, paid vacation and retirement match and profit sharing. Email resume to jen.howard@fostoncoop.com or call 218-435-6919 and ask for Brent. Foston Tri-Co-op, hiring an agronomy manager, and it could be you.
Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon reminds you that spring field work is one of the busiest times of the year. It's also one of the most dangerous. Getting everything ready before the busy spring planting season contributes to efficiency and safety. Make sure all equipment is in top operating condition. Take time to make sure this planting season is safe and productive. Welton's Tire is one stop for auto service, tires, and on-farm tire service. Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, online, weltonstire.net.
Fun fact, did you know gorillas burp when they're happy? Really? I'm glad humans don't have that issue, as it would create some awkward moments. Dave and Ryan Osted here with Osted's Golf. Looking for your happiness on the course? Book your fitting appointment today with Osted's, the nation's top 100 fitter from Callaway, Ping, Mizuno, and Golf Digest. Why get fit? On average, golfers gain 19 yards off the tee and drop their handicap by 10%. Wow, results like that will make any golfer happy. Stop in today or book your appointment on osteds.com. All burps will be taken as a compliment.
Rich Risfit with American Ag Network here. For this market update, we're chatting with Arlen Suderman of Stone X. Arlen, the grains are lower today. Wheat is sharply lower today, and it seems like maybe there's two forces working on the wheat. So you got the Black Sea grain deal that was approved, putting pressure on the wheat market, but Kansas wheat quality tour is not going so well, so maybe that could prop up some wheat. What are you making of the markets today?
Yeah, I think that's very frustrating to wheat farmers to see the reports coming in from the Kansas Wheat Quality Council tour being so poor, worse than what was anticipated, see prices break. In fact, as we started the tour, the Kansas City wheat market had been the strength of the grain and oilseed complex, but that strength has been had its legs cut out from under us now with confirmation of European wheat making its way, European milling wheat, I should say, making its way to U.S. mills. And that means that as bad as the hard red winter wheat crop is, it's overpriced on the cash market relative to what we can get into the U.S. mills from Europe. And so that really cut the legs out from underneath of the bulls when they saw that confirmation. And the wheat market started to collapse in Kansas City. And when it did, that took out the strength of the grain complex as a whole, continuing the downward momentum in the other markets. The bears have the control of the momentum right now, and there's simply not a story out there. Export sales very dismal today. Only soybeans had net positive old crop export sales in the week ending May 11th, reported this morning, and that was just barely 1.5 million bushels. So very poor old crop sales, mostly negative, mostly net cancellations all the way around.
Those have been comments by Arlen Suderman, chief economist at Stone X. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's about 57 degrees outside right now. Northwest winds at 15. And dang it, Canada, take your smoke back. We're sick
You
of it.
hosers.
We've had it all week.
Hey, I have a
take
question.
your smoke back, you hosers.
Quick question. Is the smoke causing it to be 57 degrees? Because it's a bit brisk out there, gentlemen.
No, that's a cold front that came through.
Fine,
Totally
fine.
different. But the smoke isn't hell. Although, you know what? The temperature, because if you remember last summer, we had that, it was thick smoke. Was it last summer or the summer before?
Summer before.
2 years ago.
And it really played with the temperatures a lot in the summer, where we still warmed up quite a bit. Over this last week, we still made mid-80s. Now, if we didn't have the smoke, could we have been closer to 90? Probably.
Yeah.
It does shave a little bit off the temps.
Yeah, you can shave about, depending on how thick the smoke is, anywhere from like 2 to 12 degrees off of a forecast if you don't expect that snow to come, smoke to come in.
But we've got 40s just to the northwest of the FM area right now. I know.
So what's that do for frosting?
We'll hang on to the clouds. I'm really not too worried about frost
What
tonight.
about west of here, though?
West of here, the western part of the state, yes. I think the western part of the state going to get some frost out of this overnight tonight. I think we'll be above that threshold, although parts of the northern valley, if they see enough breaks on the clouds, could see patchy frost. I mean, temperatures up there right now in the upper 30s in the northern valley.
So if you get a little bit of frost, but it's not for an extended length of time.
No.
Yeah, this is a short
It's not a
term.
killing frost.
It'd
or
be a
anything
short
like that.
frost. And then even tomorrow night, it looked like over in Minnesota, mainly
Possibly
northern,
northeastern,
north central.
Yep. They might see a little patchy frost tomorrow night. But other than that, we've got warming temperatures. Maybe a few light scattered showers this afternoon, favoring the northern valley up around Grand Forks. And then we'll stay dry all the way through about Tuesday of next week. So a nice stretch of dry weather. Will warm up into the 70s this weekend and low 80s as we head into early next week. You want to hear some good news. Areas that have been the hardest hit are going to get a lot of rain. Now, maybe that's not great news because you don't want it all at once, but areas of western Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Panhandle, the areas that have been hardest hit by the drought over the last year and a half are going to get some pretty heavy rainfall over the next 3-4 days.
Okay, so could it not be like 2 inches in an hour? Could this be sort of spread out where they can take it? It goes into the ground, but their ground's
instead of
gotta
just
be
running.
hard.
Yeah.
So they want that rainfall, but they also don't want it to be a hard packing.
Well, yeah, because you get the soil if it dries out to some degree and it stays that dry for a prolonged period of time, it does not absorb water very well.
There's discussion.
It takes time.
There's discussion groups with those farmers that have talked about how tough it is to get tillage equipment into the ground because the ground is so hard.
It's like concrete.
Yeah, so they need it to soften up, and they need that moisture to go in.
So, I mean, at least they've got rain in the forecast down there, so that's good news. And our good news, again, we stay dry here through at least Tuesday of next week. And
that rainfall will help prevent fires in their neighborhood. They've had some really big grass fires, and before planting season started, they had like a 12,000 acre fire down there in western Kansas. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. And we need to get Western Canada into. We have to get rid of that blocking ridge that's just been kind of anchored in Western Canada along with the record heat. And I think by late next week that we'll start to see a couple of storm systems kind of undercut and hopefully bring some rain to Western Canada, because obviously that is affecting our weather and even health issues when the smoke gets as thick as it was this morning. That was...
last night I went home from book club and it was raining and smoky. It was like the weirdest sci-fi movie I've ever been in.
I was out playing softball in it, and I was like...
Yeah. And it smelled...
Fog, rain, or smoke, and then it hit us, and I'm like, smoke.
There it is.
It's smoke.
Yes. So we're doing everything we can weather-wise to push that out. It's just a matter of time, and I know folks, those with breathing issues don't like it. Hopefully it gets a little bit better, but take care of yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be thinning today. Like air quality should be improving throughout today.
That'll be great.
But we'll probably hang on to some variety of haze for a couple
and it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow.
Low 60s. Low 60s tomorrow, but we'll see increasing sun throughout the day. Probably a cloudy start, and then more sunshine throughout the day.
Warmer over the weekend.
The weekend, 70s over the weekend. A lot of sunshine. Wind's not that bad.
So tomorrow on Friday, if it's cold, you're not outside doing things, or if you're in the shop, or you've got somewhere you've got Wi-Fi, go look at the North Dakota Beef Commission's, which is ndbeef.org website, because they have a contest going on for the best burger in North Dakota.
Ooh.
And they have 2 years in a row. It has been an establishment out of Velva that has won. If I can see if I can find the name of the place. So it was the finish line in Velva, and at Underwood, North Dakota, the Rusted Rail took second place.
Velva, isn't that where Dots are made?
Yeah, Dots Pretzels are originally from Velva. They are now owned by the Hershey Corporation.
Right. Yeah, they're in Pennsylvania.
So if you get a chance, go vote for your favorite burgers.
Nice.
Right? And better yet, go taste test them at those establishments. That'd be great.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Weather and Ag in Focus today. Well, thank you very much for joining us. So we're back tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember, we chop up all of our little videos, throw them up on YouTube and Facebook. Check them out there. Until then, everyone have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
AM 970 and FM 93.1.